This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Alien role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called The Destroyer of Worlds. It was written by Andrew E.C. Gaska, and it's available from Free League Publishing. Our game AI is Tyler Hudak, and this is episode 4. A recap will be given by Dr. Lex Hurley as his character, PFC Jesse Logan. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Lex?
Thank you, Tom. What the fuck, man? All right, we were at the hospital and Chaplin pulled out one of those fucking things out of Spears and we stapled him up, right? We scanned Hammer and he was fine, so took off in the Cheyenne and made a beeline for those UPP fucks rat house where Wojcik or whoever the fuck is supposed to be, right? I wanted to turn that shithole into a goddamn crater, but no, orders are orders. Fine, got it. Confirm the kill, all that bullshit. So then we made a hell of a plan, right? We're going to use missiles, take out their satellite, their guard tower, blow a hole at their fucking roof while Hammer is on the gats to clean up all the trash. We rappel down, drop smokes, breach the roof. It was all going to be fucking great. While we were going down, Cap called out 2 tangos with RPGs right on our flank that took out one of our engines. That chicken shit pilot took off. I could have dodged that shit if they would have let me in the seat, but fuck no. On the roof, okay, Hammer took point and cleared out the yard with his smart gun, goddamn lit up with a grin on his face like Christmas. Buddy. The rest of us breached the roof and took up formation. I took up center point, Spears was overwatch on stairs, and Chaplin searched the door next to us, and then that was when everything went to shit. Chaplin called out that he found Wojcik, and Cap came in right after. Something must have shook her, because I had never seen Cap Silva fold like that before today, and her voice is cracking and shit all on comms, trying to keep barking orders at us. Spears started unloading at some dumb fuck trying to come up the stairs and looked like he had it covered. I didn't really give a shit about questioning some dragon bitch, so I went in full auto, spray and pray, take this bitch out, get the fuck home. And she just took the shit and looked at me. Now, her veins were all black and snaky, and her eyes were kind of big and black like a praying mantis or something. And I know it's fucked up, but like, she was kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? I got kind of fuzzy after that because all the blood, I started rushing downstairs, you know. But someone chucked a grenade, I think. Chaplin came at her with a knife like he was going to give her a goddamn Columbia necktie. And like her scalp came off in his hand, man. Her skin started coming off like this fucking gnarly snake bug wearing a hot chick suit. And Cap slapped my ass upside the head. So we started laying into her, right? For all the fucking good it did. Goddamn. Hammer came in and laid down some heavy fire, and then like a fucking chump with sweaty palms, he drops his goddamn smart gun. This Wojcik bitch didn't miss a beat either, man. She jumped clear over the rest of us and smashed his head like a fucking egg. And then that's when shit went foobar. I had never seen Kat more shaken like that, man. She called out for a full fucking retreat while that thing was still 10 feet away from us and bolted out of the room. Chaplin and me are still stuck in there with her, and I hear Spears yelling something somewhere outside. Chap kept going at her with a knife like he thought he was a goddamn samurai or something, and she kept taking chunks out of him left and right with her tail and her claws and shit, and I emptied my mag into her, didn't fucking do anything. Sarge must have got her shit together a bit later because she ordered us to take it out. Fucking surprise, fucking A. And I heard Spears getting his goddamn RPG ready while Chap and I were still in the fucking room, man. I knew I was probably going to die and decided that if I was, I better be doing something fucking cool, right? So I slid over to Hammer's body, grabbed his gun, and lit that bitch up. It was fucking bodacious, man. Man. fuck. I was pretty shell-shocked after all the rest of that shit. And I tried to help staple some of the pieces of Chaplain back together. Mason apparently decided to fucking show up after all the fireworks died down, found some kind of UPP computer bullshit, whatever. Silva found another one of those hostages and started questioning her with Chaplain while the rest of us are cleared out downstairs. She said on comms that she had one of those things in her chest and Myers put her up to it with that Wayland bitch. And I don't know, man. I think that alien thing must have messed something up and Chaplain knocked a few screws loose because everyone started yelling at him over comms. I don't know. We'll get him patched up soon. Be fine. Anyway, we found some kind of a tunnel, something downstairs. That UPP computer started beeping like crazy saying Operation Go or some shit. Then we heard the fucking railguns light up at Fort Nebraska. They're calling all the troop back. Fucking foobar, man.
All right. Excellent. So a little bit of housekeeping before we start back up. So we are in Act 2 now. You all, except for Chaplain, should have your new agendas. Chaplain, you will get yours here shortly. Additionally,
I have it ready to go.
Awesome. So everybody, except for Chaplain, can remove 1 point of stress. The reason we're doing this is because we didn't really talk about signature items in the last act. So each of you have a signature item. Once per act, you can interact with it to remove 1 point of stress. Because we didn't really do that or forgot to talk about it or whatever, I'm just going to let you remove it now kind of retroactively. You can still use it during Act 2. Additionally, everybody, again, except for Chaplain, can remove 2 point or gain back 2 points of health, remove 2 points of damage. Within Alien, after you're injured, let me rephrase that. After you lose health, and you're in kind of a safe space, every turn, which is about 5 to 10 minutes, you'll gain 1 health back until you're up to your max, which should be, I think, equal to your strength. So we'll say at this point, it's been about 10 minutes, so you can each gain back 2 points of health. If we ever get through a scene or, some time passes, I'm not going to tell you, just go ahead and, get that back. One note, though, if you do have a critical injury, that does not get healed. It's only your health points. Okay, so with that, you are all, I believe, in the insurgent compound still. On the second floor is still I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Chaplain and Mason are still up there, and then the other 3 of you are on the first floor when the calls come in and the guns at Fort Nebraska start going off. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right.
One quick question.
Yes.
Concerning health, do I get health back if I do repair?
Normally androids have to go through, somebody has to do a ComTech roll, which takes, I think, a shift of work in order to regain all your health and do all repairs. However, let's say for this game, I'm going to just make a house rule that if somebody, including yourself, wants to do a ComTech roll, you can gain back health that way. Think of this as like a quick patching up. Again, it's not going to heal critical injuries.
Right. We'll just say that I'm repairing myself as we're going.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right. So the call had come in again. Your comms had squealed to life with somebody from the base yelling, "Charlie team, return to base. Repeat, return to base for immediate evac." And then that's when everything went silent. You got static, and you started hearing the sounds of war throughout Ariarcus. So what are you doing?
I'll run downstairs with the others.
Yeah, I'm coming. Chaplain, Mason, get your asses down here. We're rolling out.
And when Chaplain comes down the stairs, he is just covered in blood. Just along the front of it, his hands are covered in blood.
Oh, and blood, yeah.
Red blood, and some white, so pink.
Captain, can I get another person up here? We need to get this body, the woman. We need to get her out of here.
Okay, fine.
We got a
Dead
fucking
one.
rat hole down here. Like, we gonna just leave this open?
Logan,
We
go.
can-
I'll take care of it.
We can send the body. We can send the bodies back on the aircraft. They'll keep if he needs to lay low for a while, right?
Yeah, I need to make contact with our aircraft. It's Iona, right? Is that the
Iona's the
person
other
who's
Marine
left
that's
behind?
with you. So Iona is with
Iona's
you.
with us. Okay.
Feel free to have Iona do whatever you want as you're going through this.
Okay. And can we reach our helicopter? Like, can they be reached, or did they leave?
They left, but you start to try to reach them on your headset and the comms, and it takes a little bit. There's a lot of static, but then you hear a voice of the pilot saying, "Captain, we're back on our way to rendezvous and pick you up and take you back to the base. Meet us in the yard."
Copy. All right.
Captain,
Shit. Yeah, Spears.
how are you
What?
doing?
I'll be all right. We need to get the fuck out of here and get back to Fort Nebraska. That's
I'm
all
ride
we
or
need to
die.
focus on right now.
I'm with you all the way.
Hell yeah.
And
All
you
right,
can
so,
see Mason
Logan,
and Iona
you've gone
just...
up to help Mason, right? I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
where we all are.
So Spears thinks that he's the fucking Sarge over here, and I'm currently waiting for orders from my captain. Cap, do you want me to look at this rat hole? I got a motion tracker. We can just try and weed it out real quick.
Fine, do it.
Sir.
Is it a tunnel or just a basement?
It's
Trying to figure that out.
It's a tunnel. You can see that right around where the couch was, they had pushed it out, and there was like a trap door hidden within the kind of behind it that had been opened up. Logan, you're going to use your tracker on it?
Yeah, I take my sweet ass shades off and fire up the motion tracker on my assault rifle, and just going in, I'm waiting essentially until I get called back to see how far deep this goes.
All right. So with trackers, you do have to make a power roll. So go ahead. I believe it starts with 5 power. Go ahead and roll and 5 dice. And for every 6 you get, the power goes down by 1.
Okay, so I actually don't want 6s.
You don't want 6s in this case.
Well, good, because I'm rolling like Nathan. 1 6.
All right. So your power is now 4.
Okay.
Just kind of keep note of that. The kind of the blips go out from the tracker, and you can see very briefly movement at what you would guess to be the end of the tunnel. You see like 1 blip, 2 blip at the end of the tunnel moving away from you, and then it disappears. There's no other movement within the tunnel. It's hard to tell how long the tunnel is, but you get it's because it's completely dark as well. But you would guess that it's probably about 100 meters. The direction that it's heading is so if you look at the compound, if you look at the compound map, it would be kind of away from the front yard where the guard's house and that was.
Okay. Just poking my head around inside, looking at the tunnel. If it's underneath this house, does it look like something that I could pop a grenade or two down there and at least blow it in so they can't try and come back in behind us?
Oh, yeah, you could absolutely do that.
Okay. I'm too worried that they may have just trip mines or something else in there, and I'm shaken. I need to get to my emergency stash. So, yeah, I'm going to chuck a grenade down there just to cause a cave-in.
Okay. Are you going to throw it, or are you using your pulse rifle for that? Because your pulse rifle does have a grenade launcher on it.
Whichever one would be cooler.
I
think I'm going to chuck it and just say, that's right, run, bitch. And then chuck a grenade in there. There's a boom. Dust comes out. It's like, all right, Cap, there was maybe 1 or 2 taken off, but they're not going to be coming in after us.
Okay. All right. Yeah. the huge explosion, the dust and the everything, just kind of plumes out. You can hear still the sounds of battle outside, just throughout the entire city. You're hearing very large explosions. Given that you've all been in war, you suspect that the UPP is probably doing some type of orbital bombardment against the city and the fort at the moment. And you're just hearing explosions, buildings getting hit. You hear explosions in the distance. And so on. But with that, you can hear the distant sound of your Cheyenne dropship slowly, getting louder and louder as it approaches.
Mason, let's go. The bird's in the yard.
Yeah, I'm here, Cap, and she's hauling Hammer's headless body kind of out into the yard, and Iona's following with the woman's body. This son of a bitch weighs a fucking ton, but we're not leaving one behind, right?
All right, here, let me help you with that. I'll grab Hammers by his feet, and then grab one of the stim packs that he definitely stashed in one of his many cargo pockets, and hitting one in my thigh as we're carrying him out.
His signature item, Mason cries.
I don't mean to interrupt, but this one, despite the decapitation, is infected.
Yeah,
you should
dead.
Burn her. It's dead, but you should burn her.
We can make that decision back at base where
it could be in her blood. And though we've seen that blood can in fact be a vector for infection.
Chaplain, if I'm being honest, I know we're pals, but I don't trust your judgment right now.
Hammer's a dude.
I am the medic.
Listen, Mason, his judgment just saved my ass back there, right? I don't know where the fuck you were, but if he says burn it, I'm inclined to believe him.
I was right next to him when he executed someone.
Mason, that's enough. We're not going to sit here and argue about it. Chaplain's right. This is some kind of contagion that's been spreading. We need to get rid of it.
I got his tags.
Good man.
So as you're discussing this, or trying to decide what to do, you can see the Cheyenne dropship appear on the horizon. It's kind of going over some buildings, getting closer and closer to the compound. It gets probably about 500 feet or so away from the compound when all of a sudden the shell or bomb or something from the atmosphere just comes down, clips at one of its wings, and the wing just explodes off. The Cheyenne dropship starts spinning around in the air, coming directly at the compound.
Sorry, I'm diving for cover.
Yeah, run and dive
Holy
for cover.
Fuck. All right, looks like Hammer's gonna get that Viking funeral he wanted.
Jeez.
Everybody give me a mobility check.
Oh God, I have a penalty to my mobility because I'm hurt. Love it. -2.
All those stress die though, maybe they'll help.
I'm kind of regretting blowing that tunnel now. Oops.
I got 1 success, but I got a 1 on the stress die.
Okay. So if you get a 1 on the stress die, roll D6 and add your current stress level.
I got 2 successes, but instinctually, if I see somebody lagging, can I grab them?
Yeah, absolutely.
I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9,
and I have 4 stress.
So if I see Spears is lagging because of his injury, I will just grab him.
Oh, I'm probably freaking out.
Pull him with me.
And Silva, did you?
I got a success and 3 1s on panic dies. It's
okay. Good news is you only have to roll once. So go ahead and roll your panic.
I actually don't think I can succeed. I'm sorry, Tyler. What is the roll again?
Just roll a D6 and then add your current stress level to it, and tell me what the number is.
Yeah, that's 9.
Okay, so you both rolled 9. Awesome. Okay. So this is. I'm sorry, Chaplain. Who were you grabbing?
Spears, if he is already handicapped.
All right, perfect. So
I would have gotten an 8 on my panic.
Okay,
I got 1 success and 1 panic.
Okay. All right, so Logan. So the Cheyenne dropship starts to spin out of control. heading directly towards the compound. You all start to scatter away from where you think that it's going to go. Logan, you, as you're running, you just start to tremble uncontrollably. The reality of the situation hits you, and as you're running, you can feel your hands shaking. You're barely able to hold on to what you're carrying. Silva and Spears. So Chaplain is running. Spears, he grabs you in the
shit
in the time that you're moving, with Chaplain grabbing you. A 9 is drop item, whether by stress, confusion, or the realization that you're all going to die anyways. You drop a weapon or other important item. The GM decides which one. Your stress level increases by 1. So your stress level increases by 1, and as Chaplain grabs you, your RPG falls.
No,
Silva,
baby.
Yeah, same thing. Your stress goes up by 1. You're kind of getting bumped around by everybody as you're all moving. You drop the UPP computer, whatever it was that you had. You all just barely gets to the edge of the yard. Let's say you were heading towards the front gate of the compound. You head to that, barely make it out when the Cheyenne dropships smashes into the compound and explodes. You're all thrown to the ground. Nobody takes any damage because you were far away enough. But the entire house behind you is just going up in flames as the Cheyenne dropship and your APC, which was still inside of it, has now been destroyed by the explosion. Behind you, the house is in flames, is in an inferno, and in front of you, looking out over the city, you can see just the orbital bombardment has started to slow down. Every once in a while, every couple of seconds, you still see something coming from orbit, but you can also see appearing in the sky multiple dropships, UPP dropships, heading down, likely to bring down soldiers. Also, as this is going on, you're all starting to stand up, taking measure of the situation. You all see one last orbital bombardment coming down directly towards Fort Nebraska, appears to clip one of the towers, and there's a huge explosion at the fort. The Chaplain, this causes you to stagger to your knees. Everybody can see him kind of drop back. He's still kind of he's just on his knees. His eyes go into the back of his head, and you essentially reboot Chaplain. You may now look at your Act 2 agenda.
Come on, Chappie, get up.
Yeah,
I'll help up Chappie.
Chap,
You all right?
It takes him about a minute or so. His eyes, finally start to flutter back.
I'm scanning for a good place for us to just sit for a minute and get our bearings. And
we need to get in shelter.
Shelter.
We're gonna get fucking bombed.
There are buildings all over the place. You're kind of in a housing district, a nicer housing district, but you're like right on the edge of where a lot of the I guess buildings throughout the city would be. So there are definitely areas that you can jump into.
If Chappie's wigging out, I'm gonna grab him.
Hi guys.
We need to move, Chappie.
All right, fuck this. Logan, take the lead. We're gonna find a place to take shelter. Let's go.
Sir. All right, I'm just trying to look for the most solid building nearby. Don't care if it's a warehouse or what, something with a heavy roof. Get us out of the street into some cover so we can try and regroup.
You're able to find a building just down the road. It's not damaged. You're able to get into it. It takes you a little bit to force open the door. All the doors here are kind of like metal heavy doors. It takes you a little bit to force it open, but it looks like inside there's nobody that you can see. It looks abandoned.
All right, this is what I'm thinking. Logan, start looking at some maps. Find us a way back to Fort Nebraska. Spears, see if you can get a hold of the base. Mason,
Understood.
With Chap out, I need a sit rep from you about what happened with Wright. Come with me.
I'm not out anymore. I'm back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were like a whole different.
Well, he
person or
was
something.
kind of freaking out, and now he's
Got it.
saying hello.
Yeah. You okay,
We
Chaplain?
got to move, guys.
We're determining the best path back to Fort Nebraska. What the hell happened with Wright?
I mean, Chaplain killed her. She was talking about the lady we ran into, that company that she works for. Yeah, she mentioned
Wayland
that, and then
Yutani? The Wayland Yutani bitch?
and she actively takes a step back from Chaplain when you say that. Yeah, her, and then Chaplain just cut her head off.
I'm sorry, Mason, if I've done anything that's distressed you.
Yeah, you did. I got
Well, Chaplain, can you
this
explain
isn't my
why?
blood.
I believe I can, but shouldn't we be getting to shelter?
Logan's working on. We're in shelter. Logan's working on a path back to the base.
I'm
Spears,
calling
can you
base.
get anyone on the radio?
I'm injured.
It's mostly static for now. Let me try.
How do you not remember this, Chaplain? How much do you
No,
remember?
I do remember, but all right. There's something. It's difficult to explain to people because you aren't synthetics. We don't have the same things going on in our heads as you do. But it seemed to me that I was experiencing some kind of, I'll use human terms, some kind of schizophrenia.
Like a malfunction?
Well, my systems booted and said that everything was fine. But when we were on that last campaign, the Altrusion Syndicate, I had to get out of some situations where normally I don't wield a weapon, but I got stuck in the middle of the scrap and I had to kill some people, you know.
Okay.
And ever since then, there's been another me inside of me. In human terms, another personality. I thought at first it was just a malfunction, but I'd been fixed and reprogrammed and everything seemed fine. But by degrees, this other personality has been trying to exert its influence on me. I've even given it a name. I called it Jael. But something happened today. When Logan, we were on the roof and Logan threw in an EMP charge. Normally I'm completely shielded from EMP charges, but when the charge went off, I was suddenly free of the secondary personality. It was gone. And it came back shortly after that. That's when I think that I believe that it wasn't inside of me at all, that it was being imposed over my personality from the outside. The charge would have blocked the signal. And just now, when the base was hit, the other personality is completely gone. I seem to have immediately rebooted, and there is no Jael. There is no other personality any longer inside my head. Somebody was fucking with me, as you might say.
Jesus Christ.
I'm still staring
I
at
feel normal
maps
though
and
now.
hold my hand up for a high five.
Yeah.
Hey, you're getting the hang of it.
So, Mason, I'm sorry if I did something out of the ordinary, but I don't think that I was completely in control.
You understand why that's not reassuring to me at this moment, right?
I understand. I hope that I
Yeah.
can build up some confidence in you. I want, at best, to prove my loyalty. I've always been loyal before. I like you chaps. I like you all.
Yep. Great.
All right,
That's
look,
great.
our priority now is to get back to Fort Nebraska. Logan, do we have a path?
So looking at the map, you can see that you're northwest of Fort Nebraska, probably 4 to 5 kilometers away. Between you and Fort Nebraska are essentially buildings, oil pipelines. There's a couple major roads, so it's going to be, you can make it. You can absolutely make it, but that with this invasion going on, that also means that it's going to be slow going.
Right, because they're sending troop dropships out. Is it possible? Last I was aware, we left the APC at the hospital when we got into the Cheyenne.
No, it was you put it on the Cheyenne.
I got blown up.
Fuck.
He said that the APC got blown up too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed that.
You're good.
Well, Cap, I got us a path, and you're not going to like it. We're going to have to hoof it about 5 clicks out.
Yeah. So
I'm
fiddling around with the radio. Fort Nebraska, this is Charlie team. Do you copy?
So you're fiddling around with it for a little bit. You're just getting static. Every once in a while, you get this like blip of a voice, and then suddenly you hear on the radio the voice of Major Hatfield. It's like, Charlie team, are you there?
Copy. This is Charlie team.
Says, I'm leading, and Hatfield responds, I'm glad to see you're still around. I'm leading a last-ditch counterattack against UPP forces assaulting Nebraska. We're outnumbered, but it's our duty to fight back. You're on your own. Complete your mission if you can, find any remaining AWOLs, and then rally at Fort Nebraska. Make the Marine Corps proud. He starts to say something else, and then you hear static again as you hear an explosion in the distance, and the communications just go dead.
Copy. Nebraska, do you copy? No, it's gone. It's gone, Captain. Fuck, it's gone.
Okay, well, we did our job, so now our mission is to get fucked back there and help them hold it down.
You can hit the UPP from the back.
Hell yeah. Now listen to me. Listen, we're gonna stand out like a bunch of sore fucking thumbs if we're just walking the streets here. Logan, is there like a sewer system we could take advantage of or something?
Is there? I assume that I'm trying to plot a path going essentially from building to building as much as I can, trying to rely on cover. But is there a working sewer system we can try and use?
Yeah, there's a sewer system that you could use. It roughly follows the lines within the streets. So wherever you would see a street on the map, just assume that there's some type of sewer, especially the major streets.
Okay.
It's either that or hop from building to building and hope we don't come across any UPP fucks. Now, I'm itching for a fight too, as much as anyone else, but it's just going to slow us down.
Good on sight.
All right.
Do we shoot the UPP on sight, Captain?
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
No, this is it. Shoot on sight.
All right.
Or is everyone good? Is anyone need to be patched up?
Now that the main task is done, I'm going to take my combat knife and unscrew the butt of it and pull out a healthy joint and light it up. Nope, Cap, all good now.
I am at 89%.
That'll have to do, chap.
I need a drink.
Apparently, Jael was 11%.
I got a flask. All right. I got a prescription.
I'll take the flask, not the joint.
Can't fit a flask in my combat knife, bro.
How's the pain, Spears? Do you need something?
I'll be okay, Chappie. I'll be okay.
All right, get ready to move out. We're gonna leave in 10. Take a minute.
All right. In that case, I will just get my materials, take inventory. Can I banter to reduce stress for everyone?
Absolutely. And I was going to say that everybody would probably gain back 2 more health during this time. Chaplain, if you're still down, you're.
I got 1 health.
I reduced 2 stress for everyone because we're gonna make it.
God bless.
We're gonna make it. Just follow the captain's lead.
I'm pulling Mason. I'm gonna pull you aside for a second, though.
Yeah. What can I do?
While everyone else is getting ready and packing up. Jael. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it's impossible for us to trust that. I don't fully, I don't know. Also,
You know
Captain,
anything about androids?
no. I mean, we were friendly in the past. I don't know. I don't. There's another problem we have. All of us, we need to get scanned. Remember
Okay.
what happened at the jail? Well, okay,
Mm.
not all 5 of us. Chaplain's probably fine, but 4 of us, we could have these things growing in us right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I think you're right. We need to go ahead, Tyler. You saying something?
I was just gonna say the hospital is really on the other side of the city. So it's twice as far away from you as Fort Nebraska, though obviously you could make a detour around there if you really wanted to.
There's also a hospital at Fort
The-
Nebraska.
Yeah,
and
the
there's also a
fort.
hospital at Fort Nebraska.
We'll just have to do it at the fort, but
All right,
keep that
listen
in
to
mind.
me, Mason.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Logan and Spears are very attached to Chaplin because he's pulled our asses out of some fire recently. I'm going to need you to be a little bit more objective because I think you're the one that's pretty wary of all of this. So we need to keep an eye on that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go to bed and not wake up in the morning because I got a slit throat or some shit, you know?
Yeah, I think once we get back to base, he needs a comm tech to look at him. Like, that's all there is
Yeah.
to it.
Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I will suggest, knowing our crew, and she's kind of looking over at Logan and Spears. If I can offer a piece of advice, shoot on sight might not be the best advice for them at the moment. We should probably get to the base.
Yeah, no, we're prioritizing getting to the base. Is there anything, you said you've been through all this shit before. Is there anything that we critically need to know before we roll out with those things?
And like there is like the audible like paling of the face practically of just I never really got a good look. The chest thing though, that's I don't know. That's like their thing and they're fucking strong, but they're stalkers. So when we're in the sewers, we need to keep an eye out the whole time because if there's anything loose, they're probably down there.
And Mason, you would also know with what you saw with Wojciech in the compound, it's similar to what you saw, but not the same.
Right. Yeah, because the last time it was like a tumor. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
All right. Well, let's go. It's time. It's time. Is everybody ready to roll out?
Sir.
Roger.
All right. From the initial scouting, you would know that there is a sewer entrance just we'll say outside the building in the road from where you're at. So that's where you're heading. Is you're gonna go down into the sewers. All right. You all go out into the streets. The bombing has stopped, but you can hear the rail guns at Fort Nebraska still going. You hear every so often you hear gunfire, pulse rifles, the UPP's AK, whatever they are, going off, AK-47s going off all over the place, all throughout the city. It's hard to pinpoint where they are at. Because the noise just bounces off the cement and where you're at. You get the lid of the sewer portal open. Are you going down in any specific order, or you doing anything before anybody jumps in?
I'll take the lead.
Okay.
You sure, Cap?
your
I got
eyes
the
open.
motion. I got the motion tracker, Cap. Just let me go in first. Something's going to jump out. Might as well be me.
Just keep your eyes peeled. We don't know what the fuck's down there. Could be anything.
Right.
Well, at least we know there's UPP up here. Devil you know over the devil I don't any day, Captain.
How bad is it? Like looking around, is it like the streets are filled with UPP guys?
No,
running around?
not where you're at. But with the number of drop ships that you saw coming down, you know that the city is probably getting pretty heavily filled with UPP soldiers. Right. There were roughly, I'm trying to remember what we said, but I want to say that there was at least 100 to 200 Marines still within Ariarcus. The drop ships that were coming down, hold roughly 20 to 30 of UPP soldiers, and you probably saw 50 to 100, slowly kind of coming down.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Oh, those aren't good odds.
Yeah, those are not good odds. Yeah, I think this is the way we go. Just keep your eyes peeled, be ready for anything. Shoot on sight. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Leaning my head over the sewer grate or over the manhole, how bad does it smell?
It's not a pleasant smell. I mean, it's not, like you're going to be gagging and vomiting, but it's pretty bad.
All right, Cap. And
if you'd like, Cap, I could go first. If anything jumps out, it'll attack me before it attacks
Logan's got the map, chap. He needs to lead the way. I appreciate it, though. How about you catch us at the rear?
I'll take the back.
Okay.
With kind of that knowing look of like, I don't want Chaplain at my back.
I'll take the middle with my...
All right. So Logan, Silva, Spears, Chap, Mason. There we go.
And Logan, you're using your motion tracker?
Yeah, basically, I'm just going to keep like one hand over my mouth, go down the line at the bottom. I believe I'm legally mandated to say, oh, this is some real pretty shit now, man. And then I'm going to fire up the motion tracker to see if there's any big floaters moving around.
All right. Go ahead and give me another power roll for the motion tracker. You only roll 4 dice this time.
All good.
All good. All right. So you jump down. Again, the smell is pretty bad. It's not overwhelming, but not the best. There is no motion, at least in the foreseeable, tunnel. Unfortunately, because the tunnels kind of, follow the road, and then they kind of wind the signal that the motion that the motion tracker would pick up. It's harder to pick up motion. So any motion is probably going to be closer than if you were like up on the street and so on. So you all are going down. And Mason, you were the last one, right?
Yeah.
So Mason, as you are going in, you hear the whine of a ship coming towards your position. As you're kind of jumping down into the sewer, you see a UPP dropship land or coming close and landing near the compound that you had just come out. You're far enough away down the road that they don't appear to see you. The doors of the dropship open up, and out come several soldiers. And at first, something just doesn't look right with them. That it just looks a little off, and you realize that these soldiers that come out all look the same. And it takes you another second to figure out what they are, and you realize that they're old David model androids. There are 8 that come out, and then finally a 9th one comes out, another David model android wearing a red beret. He seems to kind of look around, and it seems that he looks in your direction and then turns around and starts heading towards the compound as you kind of dip down. Are you going to pull the...
Yeah, that's
sewer?
exactly. Yeah, move the sewer covering back over it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
Captain, they've got androids. They're dropping off androids.
Great. Let's keep moving in this direction.
All right.
By the way, Mason, I failed to mention it, but now that I'm back to normal, may I have my knife and gun back, please? There could be something dangerous down here.
Against all judgment,
I assure
the
you
blood
that I am
splat knife and gun. Chaplain, if you're gonna use these, use the gun on me, please. All right. Be
I
kind.
would never use these weapons on any of the members of this team.
Well, that's some reassurance.
Unless you're
Wait.
compromised by the
Oh, no.
alien life form.
Wait,
In which case, if you'd like,
weapons come back.
I'll put you out of your misery quicker.
And unless we
Yeah.
kick your whiny ass off the team, come on, Mason, step it up.
Aren't I second in charge?
Technically.
Mason's wondering
I'm
too.
kind of outside of that
What the
realm
hell?
of control because I'm a warrant officer.
Yeah, well,
All
you're
right.
not acting it, Mason.
All right,
Bitchiest
Chaplain.
gunny I've ever seen.
All right, Chaplain. You can have these weapons back if you promise that Logan and Spears go before me. And she'll hand you the weapons.
They are going before you. They're up in the front.
Oh my god.
We're all going before you.
All right, enough fucking about. Logan, lead the way.
Sir.
So you start moving down the sewer. The water in there is very cold, even though you're all wearing even though you're all wearing your fatigues, your military boots, and all that. You can still feel the cold from the water. Remember, Ariarcus is a cold planet to begin with. It is very dark in here. In fact, it'll be considered dark for purposes of mechanics and all that, which means you get a -2 to some rolls. Which kind of begs the question: how are you lighting up things? So you all would have flashlights either on your pulse rifles or maybe like a shoulder flashlight or on your helmet or something like that. Are you turning these on, or are you just kind of going blind when you need to?
Since I'm in the front, I'm probably going to be using my rifle flashlight just to scope ahead. And I'm not really going to be using the motion tracker that much, like only whenever Mason starts feeling extra twitchy, because I don't see any reason that anything is going to be down here unless we're going to hear it before we see it.
Okay.
And yeah, if we don't have any glow sticks or anything, then I'll probably just have that one flashlight on.
I guess if you want to have glow sticks, I think it would make sense that in your combat pack you'd probably have like one or two, probably like standard issue. So it's really up to you what you want to use.
Okay.
Well, and sewers tend to go straight for a long time, and then there's a
Right.
junction, and then they go straight for a long time.
Right. So you are if you're looking at the map of Ariarcus, where you were, it kind of connects to where I guess it would be Highway 3, which kind of goes southeast, and then the sewer follows that. The sewer is fairly big. Roughly 3 of you could stand next to each other within it. But it is a kind of roughly a circular tunnel. So those standing on the edge, you every once in a while you may lose your footing, or it's awkward if nothing else to kind of stand at that angle. You move down, and after about 10 or 15 minutes, you notice. But by the way, everybody should be up to full health right now. Chaplain, I'll say that you're up to full health as well with the various mechanics that you're doing. After about 10 or 15 minutes, you notice that the tunnels, they begin to change a little bit, where before they were pretty empty in terms of other than the liquid and all that stuff within there. There wasn't really anything else. Every once in a while, about every 50 feet or so, you would see a ladder that goes up to the road above. You start to see every once in a while a oil pipe kind of snake down and then go into the ground, almost like it was coming through the tunnel to go into like an underground system or flow. Every once in a while, the oil pipe, and the oil pipes are fairly big. In fact, they're so big that whenever there's one that kind of goes parallel to you or through the tunnel, you only like one of you can you have to walk in a single file line. But after about 10-15 minutes after that, it's you hear the gunfire up above you. You hear the fighting, and you think you've maybe gone about a kilometer, maybe a kilometer and a half down the highway, and you start to hear this loud explosion above you. Not of like a bomb. It sounds more like a tank. That there's a tank somewhere close. Seems to be in some type of battle. You can hear the explosion from the shell being fired. And then you hear like it hit a building. You hear gunfire coming back, and so on.
Does it sound like a marine tank?
You know what?
We
Yeah,
can probably tell because of the engine, the way it hums, or the way it fires.
yeah. You all would know that there were Ridgeway heavy tanks at the base. And they did take them out on patrol every once in a while because of the UP presence and the insurgents. So that's kind of what it sounds like to you.
Sounds like one of ours, Captain.
And we need to keep moving, Spears.
Understood.
Our goal is Fort Nebraska.
God
But
damn,
they might
any
need
other
our
day,
help.
I'd love to be up there.
Yeah.
Our orders were to get back to Fort Nebraska after taking care of the AWOL, and we've done that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you keep going. After a couple minutes, the sounds start to slow down. The tank sounds after a couple minutes stop. The firing stops. And Logan, you are the one who is leading, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there's space in the front, I'll be next to Logan for sure.
Okay. Give me an observation roll, Logan.
Okay. And can I push it?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, wait. Can I push it if I get a stress die?
No, you can't. I don't believe you
Okay.
can.
Yeah. No successes and one stress die panic.
Okay.
So
Go ahead
roll
and
that.
roll D6. Add your current stress to it.
7, 5.
All right. So you keep it together. Your nerves are kind of in check.
No, Cap, I
you-
don't see anything.
So you don't see anything. You kind of continue on. You get to a junction, and you're pretty confident of where you're going. So you start to take everybody down that way. Go ahead and give me another power roll for your motion tracker.
Okay. Fucking Wayland Yutani batteries. One more. So I'm
Okay.
down to 3 on power.
So you probably go another maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you're holding the motion tracker, and ahead of you, the tunnel, the sewer goes straight ahead. And you can see probably about 100 yards in front of you, there's another junction, and you just catch the briefest motion from about where that junction is.
Immediately hold the fist up.
Oh yeah.
Cap,
Guns drawn. Yep.
we got some kind of movement at the next junction. Had it, lost it. Could be some of those UPP fucks. They went down that tunnel. We don't know who else is down here. A lot of rats like to
Okay.
live in the sewer.
And we're all mic'd, so I think everyone is
Mhm.
going to be hearing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, you know what that means? Clean, orderly sweep. Keep pushing forward. Let's see if we can get the jump on it.
What just so I remember, Logan and Silva, you're staying in front, followed by Spears and Chaplin, and then Mason in the back, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so you are slowly moving up. And you get I would say, halfway to where that junction is. And Logan, you give another blip on the motion tracker, roughly the same spot. It's dark down here still, even with your flashlights, so it is hard to see. But you're pretty sure that there was some movement up there.
Okay.
Are blips indicative, like the number of blips indicative of the number of life forms, or is it just like one
Yes.
blip can be a concentration of? Okay.
Unless like they were like huddled or hugging each other.
Right.
Yes, it would likely be.
Okay. So I will just say quietly over comms, like doing that cool movie thing where I hold like my throat to have, looks like there's still just one up ahead. Guns up.
Does it have light?
What?
Did it have a light?
Like,
how is
did you
it-
see it moving in the shadows,
Yeah.
or did it have a light source?
It's too dark down there, and you don't see any light source ahead of you.
I just gesture to the straight tunnel in front of us. We're like, do you fucking see a light? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which means it. Great. Okay. Yeah. No. Go. Good luck. Dick.
Some fucking gunny you are. And yeah, continuing on ahead. Cannon
All right.
fodder.
Are you all continuing on ahead, or just Logan?
Actually, so is there a stealth mechanic to this
There is.
game?
There is.
What is it?
So when you are basically you just say that you're moving stealthily, and then there is typically a mobility against observation roll to see if either you stay hidden or somebody detects you, and so on.
I'd like to move ahead by myself. I'm gonna hold Logan back, and I'm gonna move ahead.
All right, so you start to move ahead. Actually, go ahead and give me a observation roll.
And if
Okay.
Cap is doing that using game mechanics, I want to take up Overwatch position behind her, taking aim, any kind of deviation from her, I want to spray around.
I'll do the same thing.
Hell yeah.
Shockingly, the stress die are not kicking my ass today. So one success, no ones on the stress.
Okay. So you you start to move forward, slowly inching. So Logan and Spears, you're kind of at the ready. Chaplain and Mason, what are you doing as Silva
I
moves
turn
forward?
I turn to Mason and I say, perhaps you should go ahead. I'm armed now, but there may be danger up ahead. They'll need you.
We can move forward with them. I'll keep an eye on our rear.
Is there enough room to go side by side?
Yes.
Okay, side by side then.
Okay.
I'll stand behind Logan. You stand behind.
You know what?
Spears.
Actually, let me kind of retcon something a little bit. So just after the junction, or right around the junction, is one of those oil pipes is kind of taking up some of the area. So you haven't gotten to it yet. It's just past the junction, but you do see that where it kind of goes straight down. It's not going parallel to the tunnel. It's just kind of coming through the tunnel. So definitely a place that somebody could hide or something similar.
Yeah.
It gives us
So-
a bit of cover.
And Chaplain, something that those dumbasses haven't figured out is that you can shoot guns from far away. So let's hold back a little bit. Let them draw
Right.
fire and figure out cover.
Mason, your comms are on, chicken shit.
Oh, what do you know? must have accidentally left those on.
I personally would
Dumb
highly
shit.
recommend that the captain not be the first one. We need the cap.
Yeah, the captain we need.
All right. So, so you, Silva, you're slowly moving forward. Everybody else is kind of at the ready. You get, let's say, maybe 10 yards or so away from where the junction is, and you see this blur of movement as something steps out into the junction and takes fire at you. It's going to get a free shot on you. So Give me 1 second. Ranged combat is agility, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Oh, actually, let me see here. The shots just go wild. Everybody can hear them ricocheting around the tunnel as the bullets from whoever stepped out just go past you. You can see the flare from the muzzle. Everybody, give me a go ahead and roll initiative for this. If you remember, we're doing a D10 for initiative. So just let me know what your number is. All right. So, okay. Chaplain is 3. Silva is 6. Mason and Spears are 2. And Logan, you're 8. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes.
All right. All right. Give me 1 second here.
And order that it goes in is highest to lowest? Lowest to
Yes.
highest?
So
Yes.
it'll go Logan, Silva, Chaplain, Mason and Spears. You'll technically go at the same time, but we'll figure out that order. Remember, you are allowed to switch initiatives with somebody else at the top of the turn. Does anybody want to switch before we start going forward?
Do we have
I was
any
gonna-
bonus for having our guns ready to just fire?
I'll give you a +2 bonus
Okay.
for the first attack.
And also, since Spears and I are on Overwatch, would we be able to try and take some pot shots at the muzzle flash, or not really right now because the captain may be in the way?
You know what? I will let you both kind of have a free attack. You were kind of at the ready. They did get a free attack on Silva, but you know what? I will let you both have a free attack shooting back if you want.
Yeah, let's
Cliff,
make
do you
that
want 3 instead of 2?
Sure.
Because you're kind of in front of me, so
Sounds good.
Okay.
So since
Spears
it's-
will be at 3.
So since it's dark, that's -2.
So
Is
yeah,
this-
dark would be -2. But you for the first one you get a +2, so that kind of negates it out. So whatever your close ranged attack plus. So your close range skill plus agility plus whatever bonus your weapon gives you.
All right, I got 3
Forgot about
successes.
Oh wow. Okay.
And this is with the pulse rifle, so it's going to do 2 damage
All right.
as I return fire at the muzzle flashes.
4 successes, 1 panic die.
All right. All right. So first, Spears, you got 2 successes. Do you want to use a second success for extra damage?
Yes, please.
All right. So you have a pulse rifle, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. So that would be 3 damage. You hear the bullets just connect in. You can hear a grunt, but you don't hear somebody screaming out in pain. Logan, go ahead and roll panic.
Okay. I lied. It was 2 panic die, but it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. So D6 plus your current stress.
5, 9, 7.
All right, yeah, that's fine. It still connects. You start to get a nervous twitch as you're doing this. Everybody around you, all friendly PCs within short range of you, their stress increases by 1. So that is everybody. Your stress increases by 1. As you see Logan at first, starts to shoot, and you can see him visibly twitching as he's shooting his pulse rifle. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, your pulse rifle, but you're able to gain control and continue on. How many successes did you have?
4 total.
4. Wow. Okay. And do you want to put them all into damage?
Absolutely.
All right. So that's 3. Oh wait, no.
Center of
Also
mass.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So you between both Spears and Logan, the person who had stepped out into the center just gets completely blown backwards. They get completely blown backwards. You see, even in the dim light, you see just white spray all over the walls, and in kind of a flash of light as the thing is falling down, you recognize it as one of the David androids. All right. And so that'll take us to the top of the order, starting with initiative, and the first to go is Logan.
Okay. For technically a fast action, I'm going to run up on Cap to take point in front of her, because as much as I don't want to admit it, Mason is right this one goddamn time, and she's more valuable than I am. I'm going to save my other action just in case I need it.
Okay. So your fast action would be moving up to the captain, and then so for your slow action, are you just going to hold it in case you need to block, or are you just going to go into Overwatch or anything like that?
Yeah, let me go into Overwatch for slow action again. If I see anything moving at the end or at that new junction, I'm going to open fire on it.
Okay. All right, that works. So that takes us to just behind the pipe. Out steps another one of the androids, holding a AK-47. Logan, you can shoot it if you'd like.
I very much would like. Okay, but now I'm at the -2 for it being dark still.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
So that would be 5, 6. All right. Can I push it?
Yeah, as long as you didn't roll a 1 on stress.
No stress die.
All right, yep. Get another stress die, and you get to roll again.
I'm gonna get back up to 8 stress die in no time. That's a little more like it. Fuck. 2 successes, 1 stress.
Okay.
What was the one I just added?
Go ahead and roll the panic.
3, 6, 8 total, since I have the Nerves of Steel talent.
All right. Oh, that's right, because you get to subtract 2 from that.
Yes, I subtract 2 from all my panic rolls.
So you start to shoot, you still connect, but you start to tremble uncontrollably as you start laying out with your weapon. All of your skill rolls using agility, which will be probably ranged combat right now, suffer an additional -2 modification until the panic stops.
Whew. Cap, I want to get the fuck out of here, man.
And how many successes did you roll?
2 successes total.
Okay.
And adding as damage.
All right. So, but you absolutely connect into the person who had stepped out from behind the pipe. That person steps out. Even though they get hit, they are going to start shooting. And we'll say that Logan, because you were kind of standing next to the captain, it starts to shoot at you.
Okay.
So. All right, so go ahead and roll armor. 0. Okay, so you take 2 damage as one of the shots clips right into your arm. It seems to find a hole in your armor, and you just kind of yell out in pain. That takes us to Silva.
Yeah, I'll take a shot at it.
Okay.
Hell yeah, 2 successes, which is pretty good for me. So yeah, extra damage.
All right, pulse rifle, correct?
Yes.
All right, so you shoot at it, hit it, kind of clip it in its leg. It kind of falls down to one knee, or starts to fall down to one knee, but immediately catches itself and pulls it back up. It's still kind of standing there. It's still standing there, ready to go. With that, Mason, you are still in the back. You hear noises from behind you, coming down the tunnel, and looking back, you can see 2 flashlights heading towards your direction. They're still too far away, to shoot at you, or at least they feel they're too far away to shoot at you. They are not coming close to you, or not opening fire yet, but you can see them coming. And this takes us to Spears.
All right. So, do you notify me, Mason?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then I'm going to turn around, set up Overwatch.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Focus ahead. Jesus.
I have a grenade launcher. You can blow them
So
all
do
to
I,
bits.
dumbass. Shoot
you,
the
bitch.
android.
I'm gonna ignore my gunnery sergeant and take up Overwatch on the Vec with the grenade launcher.
Okay. What are you going? Are you going to wait till you see them?
I'm gonna wait until I get the best option when they're all grouped up and in my line of sight.
Okay. So in terms of distance, we'll say that right now they are at long range.
It is long range, this grenade launcher.
Yeah. You will be able to actually see them probably
I'll just shoot
next
that
turn
with the
when
grenade
they
okay.
It's up to you. I'm just kind of telling you what the mechanics look like. So if you want to shoot now, you can.
Yeah, might as well strike first in this case. I'm gonna look at Mason and just say "oops" as I fire the grenade launcher.
Oops, too late. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, this is with -2 plus 1 because of the grenade launcher. 2 successes.
All right.
And I believe the grenade launcher is blast 9.
Yes, I'm looking just to. Go ahead and roll 9 dice.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. For damage?
Yes.
Okay, and count the 6s?
Yes. You don't worry about it if you roll 1s.
3 6s.
3 6s. All right. So everybody hears just this the pop of a grenade coming out of Spears' launcher, and then an explosion. Just the fire, even at distance, just goes through the entire tunnel. Everything shakes. The heat from the explosion, you all can feel it from where you're at. Spears and Mason, you would be looking in this direction, so you're temporarily blinded. It's not going to affect you at all, but you're temporarily blinded from the flash, and you don't see when your vision comes back, you don't see the flashlights anymore, but you also can't tell if they're there or not. And that takes us to Chaplain.
All right. So I assume a lot of this is going on at the same time. So the second I see Logan going down because he's suffering and he got shot, are the tunnels round?
Yes.
Or rectangular? Okay, they're round.
Round.
So I'm going to kind of go past Spears by pushing up against the wall as I go, and I'm going to go for Logan. And so that's my running. I'll call it running, whatever. Running up to Logan is my fast action. And then I'm going to do first aid. I'm going to stop the thing, and I'll give him a shot of something that will reduce his panic or tranquilize him a little bit so that he can function.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a medicine roll for that.
Okay.
Just with everything that's going on, there's a lot. So
of course, let's see, was that medical aid?
Yes.
Two 6s.
Oh, perfect. All right. So yeah, you run up. You said it was to Spears, you said?
No, I push Spears out of the way and I grab Logan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Logan's my buddy.
You grab him, Logan. you feel something get injected into you as Chaplain grabs you. And Chaplain, did you want to heal or reduce stress with that one?
Okay, well, I guess I kind of wanted both. I was going to do first aid, which
How many
would
successes did
involve
you get?
2.
I'll say if you want, you can choose one of each. So he would reduce stress by 1 and gain 1 health back if you want.
All right, so I give him a slight tranquilizer. I know his body and his weight and everything, so I give him a tranquilizer that should bring him down in stress. But I also got to stop the bleeding in his shoulder.
Right. He knows how much ketamine I usually take, so this is just enough.
All right. So yeah, he injects you with a mixture of the tranquilizer and adrenaline or whatever it is to gain 1 health back and reduce 1 stress.
I didn't get you anything.
But that would be your turn, and it takes us to Mason.
These grenade launchers, are they structural destruction as well, or are they mostly anti-personal?
Oh no, you can destroy things with them.
Okay, she's going to aim roughly where Spears's grenade went and shoot the ceiling. So she's trying to cause a collapse.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the grenade launcher roll.
I gingerly put my hands over your ears.
Yeah. Well, I got 1 success and 1 panic.
Okay, go ahead and roll panic.
We get out of the sewers going, mop.
2 plus 4, 6 total.
All right, you're fine. You're a little nervous, especially since Spears disobeyed your order. But deep
That's
down
normal.
inside, you kind of think that's a good idea. The grenade goes out. You time it perfectly, so as it's going out, it explodes roughly the same area, roughly on top of the sewer. Go ahead and give me that blast damage. So roll 9 dice and tell me how many successes you get.
Okay. Come on, Nathan. Moment to shine. 1.
All right. That's the explosion again. Everybody feels the wave of force coming at you. You feel the wind and the heat. You could see that you definitely hit the top of the sewer. It starts to collapse, but it really only collapses about half of the tunnel. Whatever is there, it definitely slowed them down if they were still coming. All right. So after that happens, despite the ringing in everybody's ears from the 2 explosions that just happened, you can hear a voice call out from down the tunnel, probably past where that oil pipe is, and it's hard to hear because you have that tinnitus in your ears right now, but you hear a voice call out that says, "It doesn't have to be like this. You are more than welcome to surrender, and we will be kind." It's not a voice you recognize.
Did he say he's got to take a piss?
Tell him we surrender and that he should come out.
Fuck you, you surrender, pussy.
It's a ruse, you dumbass. We're shouting this down the tunnel.
Mop.
With that takes us to, well, actually, that would take us to the top of the order if anybody wants to switch initiatives.
Logan, are you still panicking? You're down.
I'm not.
Aren't you?
Down.
Yeah, Logan.
I'm
just shaking.
Yeah, Logan's trembling. He'll be at a -2 until at least the end of combat.
I wouldn't mind a faster one just to get that tunnel the rest of the way, if that's amenable to folks.
I can. That sounds.
But what
good.
about the android
I think someone
shooting at you?
I want to stay up at the front because I'm going to take out this android. I don't care. I can push the agility rolls
well, then,
twice.
Look, Mason, you can have mine. I go on 6.
Okay.
Tyler, as a synthetic myself,
Mm-hmm.
Do I know of any tactical advantages we would have over the David series? Like a particular spot to aim for that would wipe out their circulatory system? I don't know.
You know what? I don't know if you would know of anything like that, but you do know that these ones, they're old. They were made a while ago, almost a century ago in some cases, and they were made with what would be considered substandard components than today, than what you are created with. And so because of that, that if you are able to injure them, they're likely to be injured more than most. And they also have to be careful about carrying too much or like jumping from high distances, because even that could snap a limb or something like that. They can sometimes be that fragile.
Would they be susceptible to an EM pulse?
Yeah, absolutely. But you would be potentially. It depends how far away you are from it.
Well, I was just up on top of a building when one went off right below me, so I'm less susceptible. But an EM pulse, I say that to the guys, an EM pulse might knock them out.
Good suggestion. You got one?
I'd say I don't know that we have anything that can do that.
I
don't know if we have any more.
3 EMP grenades. If I spend a fast action to swap out the regular frag for an EMP in my underbarrel on the rifle, and then the slow action to shoot, could I try and use that and lob it at whatever androids may be in front of us?
Yes.
Then that is what I am doing.
Okay.
And I'm bracing. I hope it doesn't affect me, but if it does, it's a good sacrifice.
So just another range combat roll?
A range combat roll, it's still dark, so it's going to be at a -2. They're short range from you, so that there's no modifiers for that. So go ahead and roll whatever you would roll for range combat. Remember, you're also at another -2 because of your...
Yep, I'm at -4 total. I now have more stress die than I do vanilla die. Don't fuck me over. Hey, no stress die. 2, 3 successes.
All right. So you were launching it straight ahead, correct?
Yes, it's definitely at the one that we're currently engaged with. And if it looks like there were any others, if that was where the voice came from, then I might try to lob it a little bit behind them to catch, to try and maximize AoE.
Okay. So the grenade goes out. You're kind of able to launch it into a perfect area where...
Actually, I shoot it at the ceiling, because the ceilings are so low in here that I aim it up to go off exactly where I want it.
Okay. And you're able to do that. There is a very small explosion from the grenade, but there's almost like a blue static that kind of pops out from it. Chaplain, we'll say that you're close enough that you at least take a point of damage from that. From the EMP, your vision goes staticky for just a moment, but the synthetic that was in the kind of that junction, they start to almost convulse from the EMP grenade and then just collapse. Whoever had been yelling, you kind of hear them, kind of scream in almost this like electronic scream, and then you see somebody fall over from behind the pipe.
Move!
That takes us to then Mason.
I'll also yell they might reactivate. Put a cap in the back of their heads.
Cap in their ass, chap, but you're almost there. You got it.
Not in their ass, because that won't work. You got to hit the main central processing unit in the back of their heads.
Well, that's where they hide the real units.
Everyone shoots for the head.
Yeah. Yeah, Mason, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, finish off the tunnel.
Okay.
Just
Go ahead and roll for that.
one success, but no panic this time, which is a nice
Awesome.
change of pace.
Go ahead and just roll the damage for me, the blast damage.
Yep. Come on, better this time. 1.
Okay. That's kind of enough to knock down the rest of the tunnel behind you. The explosion goes off again, just like before. There's kind of that wave of force and wind and fire that kind of goes across everybody. But you can see that the tunnel, for the most part, is probably the rubble is about 3/4 of the way up, has kind of buried the that part of the tunnel. It's actually caved in the street above, so you can actually see sunlight coming in from the street. Well, I guess as much sunlight as Ariarcus gets. It raises the light in here a little bit, but not too much. Enough though that you all can at least there's enough ambient light that you can kind of see in the tunnel, look at the up to about where the junction and the pipe was. We're out of combat now. Were you going to go and finish off the androids just to make sure that they're all right? Yep. So you move up. The first one that you get to, the one that was in the junction, is it's wearing like a UPP uniform. It looks like their rank would have been something like a corporal or something like that. You're able to finish them off easily. You move to the next one, and they are they have a rank of sergeant major, and they're the one Mason that was wearing the red beret. Okay. It is, and you're just gonna finish that one off as well.
Yeah, I'd like to check if it has a communication device of some kind beyond just being an android.
It does, but given the fact that it just got hit by an EMP grenade, it will take a ComTech roll to repair if somebody wants to try to repair it.
It's also covered in shit water, but
there's that as well.
Chaplain, you want to take a crack at this? You got some ComTech, right?
Yes.
See if there's anything we can extract from this.
Yeah, any guns
fix
or
up
heavy
the
weaponry?
Comms.
Yeah, I'll see if there's anything that we can extract from these models. I'm not sure exactly what you're after.
Get this back up and running so we can listen to what they're telling their people to do.
The comm unit.
Yeah.
Oh, the comm unit. Yeah.
Is there any guns or equipment we can scavenge?
They have, we'll say 2 grenades each, 2 regular grenades each, and then they have AK-47s, which are basically an inferior model of pulse rifle.
Okay, I'll toss 2 grenades to Logan. Logan, catch.
Hell yeah!
And then I'll keep 2 for myself.
Chaplain, you can. It takes you about 5 minutes or so to get the comm unit back up and running, but it kind of springs to life. Think of it as it's kind of like a walkie-talkie. We'll just call it.
But now we can hear what they're talking about.
Right, and you hear chatter from all over as you kind of go through the different channels. Chatter coming from all over the city. You get to one channel, which seems to be a bit stronger. There's different levels of strength, and what ends up you hear them kind of going through, and somebody on it going, Sergeant, report in. The tunnel has been collapsed. And they just keep kind of repeating that over and over again. Silva, as Chaplain is going through and repairing this, you notice that the oil pipe had been hit by bullets throughout in the gunfire, with the bullets ricocheting all over the place. But there's not oil coming out of it. There's this very, very fine silt kind of pouring out of the pipes.
I'll point it out. I don't really know how to interpret that, but I'll make a note of it on the
Like
comms,
sand?
but that's not my priority.
It's like sand. It's much finer than that.
But it's dry.
Yes, it's dry.
All right, Chap, can you it's probably I don't know, can you mimic that David voice? Maybe you can get him off our trail for a bit.
Can I mimic the David voice?
I would say I'll let you choose either a contact or a manipulation roll. You could.
Manipulation.
That's got to be really freaky no matter what.
No, I'm much better at contact. Two.
It takes you about a minute or so to kind of replicate the voice,
Yeah.
but you are able to do it.
What do you want me to say, Cap?
Tell him the threats have been neutralized.
Right. Threat's been neutralized. Where do you want us to report?
And you hear the response back. Where would you like us to report back to, Sergeant?
The soldiers.
Get them away from an entrance to the fort.
Your mama's
Yeah.
house. Oh, okay.
Shut the fuck
I'll
up,
send
Logan.
them back to the
Send them
insurgent
to that fucking
outpost.
insurgent's home.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking.
I'll also tell them that some of the other Davids have been compromised, and they should immediately destroy any and all David units that they encounter, except for themselves.
But Doctor, I am a David unit.
That feels a little suspicious.
Yeah, I would do that.
about giving them your orders.
Just
Just tell them to go to the insurgents compound, Chap. That'll get
Right.
them away from us.
Yes. All right, so I'll order them to the insurgents compound.
Okay. They
Just get them away.
Yeah, it takes a second or two for them to respond, but they respond in the affirmative and kind of acknowledge and say that they'll meet you over at the insurgents compound. So right for now, the area is clear. What would you like to do?
So we have a path forward in the sewers, correct?
Yeah, you're kind of at a junction now. Obviously, you can't go back the way you came.
You can go
Mason
up to the
and
street.
Spears, but you could go up to the street. You can go forward and we'll say like left or right.
Do we want to go
With-
the way the droids came? In theory, that might get us behind their lines.
yeah.
I like that. Good thinking, Gunny.
Shit, don't give her compliments,
yeah.
Cap.
Immediate ego boost.
We're never going to hear the end of it.
So what are you doing?
Going
I'm
the
sorry.
way that the Davids came from.
So that would kind of be straight ahead.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Are you going to continue in the sewers that way?
Yeah.
Okay. You continue on down the sewers for say another 5 minutes or so, and the sewers kind of come to a dead end essentially. Logan, looking at the map, this doesn't make sense to you. You feel that where you're at, you should be on a road that continues on, but for some reason it kind of comes to a dead end right here. There's a ladder in front of you that goes up to the street.
Is this it, Logan? Logan?
Yeah, I think this is it, sir. Sorry.
Hey, take a moment. Breathe. We're safe right here, right now. Are you okay?
Sir, yeah. It's just... No, I'm good.
And your
So we
trembling
can't go
would have stopped
forward.
by now.
Yeah, I think that maybe like this is whenever I like force my hand to
The
stop
adrenaline.
trembling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like just to come down from that.
The crash. Yeah.
All right. You
So
gotta-
is our only way up then, Logan? This tunnel
I
looks
think
like
so.
it goes nowhere. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
We got to go up. I think this should, just looking at the map, It's probably not going to get us right under Fort Nebraska, but just as close as we could possibly get for a manhole, maybe dodging between one or two buildings to get past the walls.
Okay.
Get out of this fucking sewer.
You
I agree.
Start to go up. Who goes up first?
I'm going up first.
All right. So
Cap.
Put your hand down, Logan. I'm going up first.
Listen, my ass can get shot. Yours
That's
can't.
an order, Logan. I'm going up first.
Sir.
All right. So you start to head up. You move the sewer cover off. Immediately, the cold air hits you, but it's the smell of relatively fresh air, which is a much needed relief to where you've been for probably the last half hour or so.
Fuck, that's good.
You kind of pull yourself up, and you see that you're not on a main highway. You're almost on like a side street. In fact, you're kind of on a side street that ends into like an alleyway where you're surrounded on three sides by buildings.
Okay.
Pulling yourself up. Are the rest of you coming up?
Yeah, I've got my gun. I'm armed, ready, watching and gesturing for people to come up as I kind of survey everything.
You can hear, you still hear the sounds of battle throughout the city. You couldn't really hear them as well down in the sewers, but you can definitely hear them here out here, although it's much less often. It's more every once in a while you hear a couple pops of a gun, but not much after that. And looking around, you're still in the almost constant dusk of Ariarcus, but you're kind of in this alleyway surrounded by these three buildings. You don't see anybody around you.
What's the quickest way to the fort from this position, Logan?
So checking my map, I almost want to ask if I should make a luck roll or something, like how close I could get us to it. I'm hoping that we could get as close as we could, just maybe a block or so.
So how...
If I've got it in my memory, can I extrapolate our position based on the names of the streets? Or
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll there aren't really names of streets that you see, at least from where you're
I know
at.
I know this titty bar. I used to come here all the time. As soon as I got off base, I know if I can stumble blind drunk back from here, we should be close.
And that would normally be the case, except where you expect that bar to be is just this like warehouse type building. You slowly come to the realization that at some point you took a wrong turn.
Oh, fuck. Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque Street.
And you're not quite sure how close you are to the fort. The buildings around you are fairly tall, so you could, if you wanted to, go up the buildings and kind of
Survey.
recon the area to see where you're at.
Would it be better to recon up top, or could I just try and sneak out to the street and see if I can find some signs, and then just try to relocate where we're at on the map and
I'm
orient
assuming
ourselves
stuff like
there?
GPS is just down due to all the orbital bombardment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Normally you would have GPS or like an electronic map that kind of gives you a pinpoint location, but because of everything that's been going on, it's all down.
Okay. Let's take a two-pronged approach. One of us can, or a couple of us can go to the top of a building. A couple of us can go down the street, try to get across street.
Yeah, Cap, I'm sorry, I fucked up.
No, you didn't fuck up. You got us to say this is a safe space. You didn't fuck up at all. Now look, you and Gunny, you go to down the street, see if you can find a cross street.
The way I tense up when Mason has to come close to me, just get the fuck on.
Oh, I'm sorry, you afraid you're going to get shot again?
I do not acknowledge. I'm going to try and creep up to an intersection where I can see street signs.
Yeah, stealth
I'm taking
is the name
Chap
of the
and
game.
Spears with me to the top of a building.
Okay.
I don't think there are any street signs. We need to just see what direction
We're going to go up to the
fort
building,
is in.
Chap. And see.
All right. So you those who are kind of going up the building to the top, you start heading up there, looking around. You finally get to the top. It takes you a couple minutes because I assume you're going to be going slowly. You're not gonna just be running. You want to make sure that the building is cleared. Things like that. When you get to the top, excuse me, when you get to the top, you can kind of see over the city. You find like a good vantage point, and you can see really throughout the city are fires burning in various buildings. You can see Fort Nebraska from where you're at. It's roughly a kilometer and a half to the northeast of you. Somehow, in the sewers that you were in, you overshot it instead of, kind of getting to the right place that you needed to. You don't see any, you do, I'm sorry, you do see drop ships going, flying through the air. The equivalent of the UPP equivalent of Cheyennes. They look more like they're on patrol, looking for other Marine Corps. They're not in active battle, essentially. Those on the street, you are. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to find something specific, and it's not showing it to me. You start going to the street, kind of down to the end, just to kind of get an idea of where you're at, and you realize that the road that you go to goes and opens up into basically like this very large park, and you see a sign that says Wildcatter Park, and that is essentially a area that was used by both civilians and the Marines to kind of store some vehicles. And in fact, within the park, you can't tell what they are, but you see what looks like maybe 2 or 3 vehicles that have been tarped over. They're kind of caked with snow, but you do see, maybe some type of vehicle there.
Captain, we have a couple vehicles. Do we want to try and get that to get us the rest of the way?
Land or air?
Look like land, sir.
Yeah.
Land.
We're going to need some cover. They're not going to be able to just open the gate for us. We need something to hold up for a second or two.
You're right, Gunny. You're right. Just we're a giant moving target in those fucking things, though.
Yeah, but 1.5 clicks? It didn't look too good for Nebraska, though. Do you think they've taken it? I'll try the radio again.
Try comms again, yeah.
Fort Nebraska, this is Charlie Team. Do you copy?
Try comms, and all you get back is static.
Nothing, Captain.
We gotta try.
So I think we shouldn't take the vehicles then, because they'll make a lot of noise, and if the fort's fallen, then we're fucked. If we sneak up, see what's happening, find out that it's fallen, then we can figure out what to do.
I think that's a good point, Spears.
Fair enough.
That's a good point. I don't like rolling around in a giant fucking target when we have, quadruple our numbers coming down on us.
So, Chaplain, you would definitely know this. The others, probably, some of you might remember Iona's with you, and it reminded me of that because I forgot to have Iona do stuff in the combat before. The fact that the GPS is down and some of the electronics are down and you're not receiving any communications back probably means that the Apollo mainframe is down within Fort Nebraska as well. The one thing you do notice, though, at least the 3 of you who are on top of the building, the space elevator looks to be intact. It seems like whoever the UPP, when they were attacking, they specifically left that alone, because you can see almost like there's bomb craters within Fort Nebraska kind of around it, but it is definitely intact.
And the space elevator's to the north, right?
The space elevator is in Fort Nebraska. It's kind of in the center.
Okay.
The fort was built around the space elevator.
It would cost them hundreds of gazillions of dollars to rebuild the space elevator, so there's no point in blowing it up.
Well, so then even if the fort's fallen, we can get out.
I hope so. They might have complete control over the space elevator.
Well, we won't
though.
know until we go. And it's the only way off this fucking rock if we need to get off here anyway.
So what is your plan?
We regroup, talk it out. Agreed with Spears' argument. I think we just need to push on foot.
Push on foot towards the
fort.
The fort, okay.
Kind of taking a duck into buildings as we need to. Kind of in a
Do we have
strategic
any
stealthy-
kind of binoculars?
Yeah, oh yeah, you would definitely have something.
Surely, yeah.
Looking at Fort Nebraska from this far away up on the roof, do we see any activity like them trying to defend themselves from people on the ground? You said that there are rail guns.
Mm.
I assume that it's like a fort. It's got a wall around it. So
Yeah.
are they shooting down at people on the ground?
Actually the rail guns around the forts are not moving. They seem to either be inoperable or they are there's nothing for them to shoot at. You do know that the rail guns are along the walls. There's basically the fort is almost like in a pentagon. Yes,
right.
Type shape. There would be one rail gun on each of the walls.
So what I'm thinking,
go on. I'm sorry.
I'll discuss this with the captain. If we get into a vehicle and we're not dressed like the UPP people, we're dressed like soldiers, like the Marines. Don't you think that if we just floored it and went there as quickly as possible, they would see us coming and open the gate for us, while at the same time shooting anybody on the ground who is attempting to shoot at us?
We don't see any activity going on over there. I'm concerned.
That's why I'm looking through
binoculars.
binoculars. Do I see any people?
Yeah, if we
on
don't
the
see
walls?
any activity, there's not gonna be anybody open the fucking gate for us.
Well, it depends on that. If I see people trying to defend the fort from the inside, people in the Marines, then they'll see us coming and let us in. But I've just a suggestion. I'd rather get there faster than slower.
I think we need to go on foot for this one.
All right.
While they're having this conversation, I can't help myself. I want to sneak over and see what's underneath these tarps for vehicles.
Yeah, so you sneak over. I won't even make you roll for anything like that. You get over to there and you find that there what's called Daihotai Series 8x8 tractors, mostly used in mining and construction. They're basically like these really big 8-wheeled vehicles. They can hold they hold 4 people easily. You could fit all 5 of you in there. It'd be a little uncomfortable, but you could all fit in there. They're not like APCs where they have like vacuum sealed or environmental sealing. They're just essentially used for construction and things like that. There appear to be 2 of those. They go, let's see here. Their top speed is about 150 kilometers an hour. So did you ever see the in Aliens, the cutout first part where Newt's parents are going and they find the ship? The vehicle that they're in is kind of what this is. So it's used to kind of go over rough terrain and things like that. So it can go over it can go at pretty high speed. So when needed on the streets here, you could definitely get it up to, if you had a long enough stretch, you could get it up to pretty fast. It's not going 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. It's going to take you, a good 20-30 seconds to get up to pretty high speeds, but you could do it if you wanted to.
Is it armored or heavy enough?
No. It's very heavy. It's not armored, though.
So in that case, a couple of questions. First, is this something that could potentially be remote piloted? If there's multiples of these and I wanted to try and use one as a decoy, but not be behind the wheel.
I will say that with a successful Comtech roll, you could rig something up.
Okay.
A brick and a stick and a...
It may be as simple as that.
There's also that too, yeah. Okay, and then looking at Fort Nebraska, are all of the walls still in place? Does it seem like if any of them have been shot down or crumbled, we could try and essentially goose this and monster truck rally it over the wall?
It does look like the southwestern wall had been hit by one of the bombs, and so it's not in complete ruins, but you might be able to use this to kind of get over the rubble and get into the fort that way if you wanted to.
Okay, so Captain Silva, you're going to hear the worst 5 words that Logan ever says. Cap, I have an idea. And then I explain this wall is sunk down on the side there. There's multiples of these tractors. If we did want to take both of them out and send one careening down a highway road or something that's pretty much a straightaway, and take the other to try and reenact these historical films and do a really sick jump over the edge of the wall. It would be tight as hell, sir.
How high is the wall?
The walls of Fort Nebraska are probably 50 feet high.
Jesus. It's 5 stories.
Survive
It'll be
that
cool as shit,
landing,
though, right?
Logan.
Look at these shocks, baby. They can take it.
Okay, 50 feet may be a little high.
That's 5 stories.
There's also buildings in there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to steer it onto something. Cap,
Yeah.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Let me put it this way: they're cement walls. They're not like a chain link fence. They're pretty heavy
Right.
walls.
Right.
I would say 50 feet might be a little bit much. Let's say 20 feet, 15 to 20 feet, and depending on where it is.
Logan, the fort is about 1.5 miles away, so you're gonna live a lot.
1.5 clicks. And as I'm
can
sitting out here on the rooftop, like with the burning landscape, can I banter and reduce some stress for everyone?
Yeah, I would say.
Can I
do that.
bum a cig, Cap?
You got it.
Still
Thank
got
you.
one more J, Spears. Let me know.
I'll pass.
Can we hear battle coming from the fort area?
Actually, you can't. You don't hear any of the battle. In fact, the UPP dropships that appear to be patrolling, they don't appear to be patrolling around the fort. They appear to be patrolling around the city. Like you'll see off
they
in
want
the distance,
stragglers.
you'll see like ships kind of going with like the really bright spotlights shining down on the streets, flying around. Every once in a while you'll hear gunfire go up, but for the most part you're actually not for the most part, you don't hear anything coming from Fort Nebraska.
They probably have the fort.
Yeah. Well, and that's sort of my question to clarify. Like, are there any sort of automated defenses we can try and activate whenever we're there? Or are we seriously just trying to scoot to the elevator and take it up because everything else is foobar?
There are automated defenses that are controlled by the Apollo mainframe.
Which is probably offline.
Down.
You're fairly positive it is offline.
So we could just leave?
The Apollo mainframe also controls the space elevator.
So we can't just leave.
Correct.
Well,
But we can get
Do
that
we-
on.
yeah, if we can turn that back on
At the base.
cover. Yes.
which we need to get to.
It's-
But
It
if
might
we
be a
come
good
in with a
time.
giant fucking car and ramp it over the walls, it's not exactly subtle.
I don't know the meaning of the word, sir.
Well, and when we hit the ground, do we all die?
Yes.
We look, Logan. This is why I'm here to make the risk
Man,
trade.
Hammer would have
We
been
can't
okay with
show
this.
up in a. First of all, if they're patrolling, they're going to look for any vehicle that isn't one of theirs, and we're driving a big fucking vehicle that isn't one of theirs. And if we take it and ramp it over the wall and land smack down in the middle of the fort that's been compromised,
Yeah, it'd be cool
we
as
just
shit,
announced
sir.
our arrival.
Why not point it the other way? If we're gonna do a distraction,
I did like the first part of your plan. Yeah. Point them in another direction. Drag them away.
Are you all together when you're saying
Yes.
this, or are
Yes.
Yes.
at the street level, or up on top still, or where are you?
I think
Or
we're at the
like
street
hiding
level
in
at
a
this
building?
point.
I think
We're
at
back
the
down to the
street.
Okay.
I mean,
I-
yeah.
Yeah, maybe behind cover in like
Yeah,
street
Either-
level.
building or
I'm
something.
imagining
Okay.
us either in
Okay.
the alleyway or between the tarped up tractors so that there's like obscuring cover.
Okay.
I should also remind you that such a distraction as you're considering will not distract most of the soldiers. Just the few that are along the route of your decoy.
True.
Captain, if you say if that we should hide and sneak forward, that's probably what we should do.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Though
So-
jumping the wall in a vehicle would be cool.
No, but we can always use the vehicles, autopilot them away to at least draw the insurgents away from us.
So are you going to try
For a
to
while.
rig up the tractors to kind of remote pilot them away?
I have exactly 0 in Comtech. So if I try to do that, it's going to be a brick on the steering wheel, a brick on the gas pedal.
I mean, you can still try. You just use the base skill for it, or not base skill, the attribute, which is
Do it with a leather belt. And
How many wits do you think Logan has? Just out of curiosity.
I'll
I
do
think
it.
I think Logan believes he can do it.
I'll break it.
That
for
is
you,
true.
Logan.
All right. So whoever wants to make
We
a
all
roll.
know Chap has the best comm tech.
Okay. Somebody can help as well, and I think you'd get a +2 to.
I'll need your belt.
Okay. I have 3 wits and 4 stress, but all right. I will try and help Chaplain.
Okay, so you get 1 success. You're with the 1 success. We'll say that you are able to get one of the tractors to kind of act as like a remote control, and you're not really confident that you're going to be able to control it past like maybe 50 feet, 100
That's
feet.
fine.
It's
There's
just going to go in a straight line.
yeah, it won't like it stop, but you're not going to be able to steer it or anything like that.
Perfectly fine.
So you've got this ready to go. What is your plan then?
We're pushing forward on foot, sending that off in a direction opposite us to draw attention away.
Okay. So you're sending it away from where you're at right here, or are you going to take it?
Yeah.
Okay. all
Away
right.
from the fort, away from us, in the opposite direction.
All right. So you start the tractor up. It springs to life. The lights come on. I mean, you can even I'll even let you control the horn to try to get some, make more noise, do more of a distraction.
If Chaplain got more successes, it would have been the Dukes of Hazzard Horn.
Wait a second. Do I still have the calm and the David voice?
Yes.
Can't I send?
yeah.
Can't I send like that? There's a whole bunch of of us in that direction.
If you want,
Yeah.
it'll be a manipulation roll.
Manipulation. What do I have in manipulation? I have 4 dice. What do you think, Cap? Cap, should I try? And
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
all right.
That's an excellent idea, chap.
1.
All right. So you get on the comms. What are you saying?
I'll say a large contingency of America's Marines are located in that quadrant of the city. All available head in that direction.
So you say that there's silence on the comm unit for 5-10 seconds. And then a voice comes back and says, please authenticate. Repeat, please authenticate.
Fuck. I don't know, chap.
Hang up. I just hang up.
If he's going to hang
Boring
up,
conversation
I'm
anyway.
going to say, authenticate this, dickweed, and try to fart into the microphone.
Go through a tunnel.
To let you know what happened. To let you know what happened mechanically, you had 1 success. I had 3.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, I just hang up. I make static noise and then I hang up.
God, and hang up. As soon as you do that, you've been able to see these dropships, the UPV dropships in the distance. You see 2 of them immediately start heading to your location.
No, they
Okay.
gotta
Throw
they
that
triangulated our
Beep, beep.
position.
Throw
Spears,
Drop
you
that
still
unit
got
fucking
that
in the
RPG?
car. No, put it in the
No.
car and make it go.
Oh, no, you're right. Mason's right. Let's go.
Okay.
I put the comm in the car. Yeah.
As this happens, as you throw the comm unit in the car and you're having the car kind of go off, all of you, the hair on the back of your necks and on your arms start to stand up and tingle as above you see this blue explosion of static electricity above the city. All of your weapons go offline. All of your comm units go offline. Chaplain, you take 1 point of damage from this EMP
Impulse.
that has gone out. All of the shooting that you heard in the city, even though it was, kind of going on and off, stops. The 2 dropships that were heading towards your direction, you can see their lights flickering on and off, and they immediately drop and crash into buildings.
I probably fall down on my knees for a second.
You definitely do. After the blue static explosion occurs above the city, you can make out in the clouds above the city this massive shape slowly moving over. You're on the west side of the city, roughly southwest. It seems to move, and you can't make out. It's definitely some type of ship, but not a ship that you're familiar with. It's too massive. It's definitely not a USCMC ship. You've never seen a UPP ship this big, and it's over kind of the northeastern part of the city. It seems to come to a stop, and you see from where it's at something start to fall. And at first it looks like rain.
Oh.
But as you're watching it, and even in the twilight of Ariarcus, you see that it's this blackish rain that has started to fall over the city, concentrated in the northeast, where whatever that ship in the sky hidden by the clouds is. But the wind and the natural elements of the city are pushing this black, oily rain all over. And that is where we'll end it for tonight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Damn David units.
I'm in danger.
Our players included Holly Buto, Nathan Decker, Dr. Lex Hurley, Alex Sun, and myself with Tyler Hudak as the game AI. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean, Spotify, or iTunes. If you would like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Or hit the Super Thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the alien role-playing universe. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.